Hey everyone, welcome to the first live coaching session that I'm broadcasting today. And I wanted to give to you all, and I wanted to share with you all the process of coaching. I always thought it was very interesting to watch master classes, and I do this on YouTube all the time. I love watching master classes like by famous opera singers who coach young opera singers who are talented. And then there's always so much that you could work on. I want to inspire you. If anything, I want this to inspire you to kind of see like what else is possible, and maybe you can resonate with one or two or more things that we work on. And today I'm here with JB, and he's actually a member of my online singing school, and he volunteered very kindly to be the first one to jump on this live call with me to just go through a few things vocally, and we'll see where it leads us. Okay. So hi, JB, maybe give us just a little bit of background, like a minute or so. What's your background in music and in singing?
Okay. Hello, everybody. So, I've been singing since I was a kid. But not publicly. I did sing in church when I was younger. But a lot of it is in the car, the shower, where nobody heard me until now. I've been singing more publicly, doing private parties or at retirement communities, or at a couple restaurants here and there. But I've been challenged with my lack of experience in longevity, voice stamina. After that, sometimes it's a 3 hour length, and I am in trouble at about 2.5 hours because of my inexperience of utilizing how I'm supposed to utilize my voice. And then the other challenge that I have, I'm a mess, by the way. But the other challenge that I have is like a sustained vibrato that I'm trying, I've been working on, and sometimes it works, and sometimes I sound like a drunk mouse. It's just it all depends on, I guess, the breath support. I'm still trying to nail it down. I feel like when I use my upper register, and forgive me for all of, I don't know all of the definitions about voice, but when I veer away from my chest, it seems like it's easier. But sometimes I get excited and I start that chest voice while I'm singing, like I'm yelling at somebody across the street, and that's what gets me in trouble. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the main two challenges that I have.
Okay, so one thing that I can already hear, I haven't even heard you sing. I have heard you before, but without knowing anything else. The cues that you gave me is you get exhausted after a while. The vibrato gives you trouble to be very evened out and to be sustained, which means like a very controlled vibrato, even as you continue singing a longer pitch, which is kind of quite important when you sing long pitches, to play around, first of all, stylistically, and second of all, to take the weight off the voice a little bit. Which tells me we have to work on consistent support and consistent placement. Probably those are two things that are really important, because placement plays a lot into how worn out you are, because what you want to do is take the weight off here as much as possible. This needs to work very little, like just barely. All you need is the vocal cords to close and those muscles to stretch and relax as you sing higher and lower. And you want to basically take all the weight off of here and work with as much as you can here with resonance and amplifying, adding all those dimensions to the color so that you don't have to work here. And how else? That subglottal compression is also very important in order, number one, to have like this really, it's like, I always look at it as like riding the wave, like you want to ride that wave of like a nice, even airstream, that breath that continues on. it's seemingly effortless, but in reality, you work hard below the surface to achieve that level of compression so that you take that weight off of here. You don't want to push against the vocal cords. You want to compress below so that when the air gets to the vocal cords, it's already compressed. You don't need the vocal cords to push against so hard. So, number one, let's just sing a little piece so everyone gets an idea of what your voice sounds like. Just sing us a little piece of a song so we get an idea how you kind of jive through the piece.
Okay, so this is a good one. I just did the memorization challenge.
Yes, in the online singing school.
In the online singing school, and I chose La Vie en Rose.
Okay.
And that one put me up against the wall, started frustrating me because there's portions of that song that are light and airy. And towards the end, it gets louder and more volume. And so anyway, that's a challenging song for me. So here it goes. Hold me close and hold me fast. That magic spell you cast. This is La Vie en Roses. When you kiss me, heaven sighs. And though I close my eyes, ya da 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 da.
It's good. It's all good. There goes the memorization challenge. Which, of course, when you're under pressure, it's always like, okay, good. So here's what I hear. Number one, we have to kind of even out the space a little bit consistently. I feel like you're digging in on the bottom a bit, and then on the top, you're getting a little thin. So you have to kind of choose here. What is it that you want? Typically, what we want to do is have more of a progression that's the opposite. On the bottom, we want to be nice and warm and not have that feeling like everyone thinks, oh, now he's singing a really low pitch. We don't want to dig in the low pitch. We want to make it beautiful and warm. And so it's important on the low pitch to consistently, connect with the rest of your voice. Think of keeping it in the same space when it comes to resonating. You don't want to like suddenly da 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 da. We want to be consistent with the placement. Don't darken too much on the bottom. At the same time, you don't probably need as much force on the low pitches. I think you can lighten up because the low pitches are harder when you try to dig in too much. They tend to be a bit lighter. Really, when I sing low pitches, I think high. It's almost like high, low. I think kind of like the opposite than what you would maybe intuitively do. Normally what we do is like low, high. We kind of, the space that we use is like when we go low, we want to do a low larynx. And when we go high, a lot of times we raise the larynx. It should be the opposite. We should relax the larynx as you go down. So, hold me da 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 da. See, as I'm going high, it's almost like that dynamics. The dynamics help you move through the phrase, connected, but think that ebb and flow of when you're low, it's the ebb. And when you sing higher, it's the tides coming in. And that's kind of how it goes. Can you try that to try to connect that a bit more to where your voice is one voice and it doesn't suddenly sound like, oh, I'm digging in down there?
Okay. Hold me close and hold me fast. That magic spell you cast.
Yeah, so here it was again. That magic spell. The spell was like, it was like really digging like low again. And again, try not to disconnect. Yeah. Try not to disconnect the low one.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to connect it. It's in the middle of the phrase. So it should almost like you're passing through that phrase, and in the middle it happens to be a low pitch, but it's not really anything particularly sticking out. It's just part of the phrase.
Okay. Hold me close and hold me fast. that magic spell you cast.
Better.
This is the Vian Roses.
Yes, and good. So much better. So much better. Yes. And now what we need, if you can connect the low, and now we need to connect the top to where it doesn't strain your vocal cords. Because right now, when you're in this more breathy place on the top, it really wears on you. So what we need now is on the top have better vocal cord closure. Also, hold me da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. It's almost like you want to enjoy the top, like lean in, not by being very loud, but lean in a bit more into those high, like appreciate that, because that's where you can really, that's when everyone will hear your voice opening up. And that's what it should feel like to the listener. On the top is where it opens up. It's like a blossom suddenly. Da, ya, da, 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 da. And again, you're not loud on the top. It's in context, in the phrase. It opens up and connect through.
Okay, you want me to try that?
Try that. Again, I don't expect you to like perfectly. This is something I'm giving you to work on, but we're going to try it out now.
Yeah. Okay. Hold me close and hold me fast. That magic spell you cast. This is Vian Roses.
Yeah, we're still on the top, kind of thin. You know? Can you just do me fast, me fast? Can you just do the top two notes?
Me fast.
Okay. Can you try to be a little brighter, a little forward? You know, it's like me fast. To get that E a little bit more twangy.
Me fast.
Yeah, it's still kind of me. What we want is me. Me. Can you do it? It doesn't need to be spread. Not spread, but it's really the laryngeal position a little bit instead of me. We want me. A little bit more. Yeah.
Me fast.
It's going in the right direction. Yeah. We want a little brighter on the top because here's the thing. It's all about resonance. It's not about trying to work hard here. If you try to just be louder, it'll make you tired. Really,
That's my problem.
Yeah, because when I think I saw one clip with you, like you were doing like with a big band.
Yeah.
Or some brass was going on, and that's very loud. Brass is so loud. So in order for you to cut through that, you have to really work more on getting those bright overtones, especially when you're singing in the middle and high part of your voice. Getting this me fast versus me fast. That's me. It's very in your throat. You want to not be so much in your throat. You want to try to get it more, we call it the mask, and get more of that bright overtone in there. Me. And you could do an exercise. Me. So like Mia kind of exercise. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, see, your me is very me. It's kind of like very, very darkened. Can you brighten it up and put it a little more forward, to where it's more me? It's almost like you're trying to be a little annoying, like me
fast.
Yeah, it's such a habit. Yeah, it's such a habit for you to like sing it that way. In your speaking, you can do it, but then when you get to singing, me fast, what we need is me fast. And then you can back off again. But on the top, we need more of the cutting through sound that has, that twang in it. So doing exercise that just like me, really trying to get like how much can I get that sound bounce off the wall? When you're in a room, it's like Mia. Yeah, just work.
Mia, mia,
Yeah. What you
mia, 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 mia.
Yeah, even more that direction. But like I just want you to think about this a little more and experiment with that when you're practicing. It's really important to I just had an interview this morning with a world famous soprano. It's going to be up on my channel soon. We talked about some technique. We geeked out a bit on technical issues, but it's that issue of like taking that weight off the vocal cords, and you can tweak so much by just placing the vowel a little differently. You know, me, me. I can either add more nasal resonance or subtract that, and we always think about nasal being really negative, but that's not true. Nasal resonance is something that we can mix in more or less of that. And depending on how high the pitch is and what the vowel is, we need more or less. So we have to kind of play around with nasal resonance.
I've got a bad habit that I'm going to have to work on.
Yeah, because to me that puts a lot of strain on the voice when on the top you put it very far back and you're kind of very much singing in your throat instead of going more forward. It's again really lifting that soft palate and not working so much with the larynx, but really more that space in the back of your throat and the back of your mouth. That is a really important space to be aware of in those muscles and experiment with, so that we can go from I mean, there's such a bandwidth of how we can direct the sound. And then depending on the genre, of course, a little bit, you can make it sound more classical, which has more vertical space generally, especially on the bottom. And then when you want it non-classical, you relax that just a bit more. But in this piece, you can still have intimacy and still have that, tenderness a little bit. But you need those dynamics. I always sang it just in French. That's why I'm like, da 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 la vie en rose. And you can have nice dynamics. You lean in on the top and then you taper it off with a nice vibrato. Let's talk about that vibrato, okay?
Okay.
So I feel like in order to have a nice consistent vibrato, it's almost like you always from the bottom, from your support, you wanna be in motion. You never want to be static. You always want to move forward. If you can get vibrato, period, then you can also work on getting a consistent vibrato. You have a vibrato. So let's do this. Let's do that piece again. And I want to we're going to do that phrase. La vie en rose. Can we try that? Just la vie en rose. When you go to the top pitch, as you taper it off, you try to add vibrato on the relaxed part of the pitch. We start straight. La vie en rose. And try to keep it until the very, very, very end. Try that.
Okay. La vie en rose.
Yeah, you need to dwell on that roll a little more, so that you can already on that taper of la vie en rose. Because we're making it an exercise, let's slow it down just a bit so you can work with it. Don't taper off too much yet, and don't move to the next pitch until you have found some vibrato in there.
La vie en rose.
Very nice. See,
that is difficult.
Yes, but yes, no one said it's easy. To have a nice consistent vibrato, you have to it feels like I'm really working with my support a lot. I'm always keeping it going. It's very similar to singing coloratura. When I sing little all the sparkly stuff, it's hard work here, but it takes the weight off here. And that's why a good vibrato is a good indicator of having a healthy position, having a healthy placement. If you have a good vibrato, that's a sign to me that you are not like straining too much. But try that consistently, but do it in that relaxed position, in that relaxed part of your voice. La vie en rose, da, 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 da. See how I'm so soft, but that's when I'm like soft, but adding that consistent vibrato, it makes everyone like, ooh, it's like it's very intimate sounding. And whenever someone gets soft, you want to get closer, right? It's like, what are you saying? What? Right? So
Yeah. I feel like I run out of breath too. That's work that's something else I have to work on.
And
support.
I think, but again, it's that same, it kind of is connected. It's all connected. So that not pushing on the bottom, but having good closure on the top so you don't lose air. And then not trying to be too intense, but like even on the top, like in a song like this one, there's very little you have to do like that to make it loud. There's nothing you have to make loud. It's enough if you give it just a little bit of sound. But if the little bit of sound is very beautiful and full of overtones, it really comes across, and it's above all the instruments. It'll carry, and the frequency will be so much brighter, which then just puts it right in the center of everything. So really think of it this way as, playing with overtones.
Okay.
And vibrato will always add those.
La vie en roses, la vie en roses.
Yeah, and again, those pickup notes, on the bottom, very light. La vie en rose, ya-da-da-da, ya-da-da-da, kind of like that. The phrasing helps a lot. Phrasing really only means that there is a direction. You don't give every pitch the same weight. It's boring to listen to. It's also boring to sing, and it also strains you because you're always kind of like, it's almost like rigid. You're always giving it the same push. And we don't want that.
Okay.
So really, da, now lighten up, da, da. Lean in a bit for the top and then taper that off and add that vibrato constantly as you are on the longer resting notes. It'll do a lot. So now, can you just sing? Yeah, sing through the very beginning again. Like, sing a bit of it and try to apply that. The bottom lighter, the top nice and tapered. Phrase it. Give it a direction.
Okay. Hold me close and hold me fast. That magic spell you cast. This is La Vie en Roses. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see La Vie en Roses.
Okay. This is really nice. So you will find that, of course, now slowing it down helps with the vibrato because sometimes you feel like you need more time to get that vibrato developing and to really focus on it. You will find as you try to speed things up, you have to work harder, like from your support, but it's very helpful to practice that, even in fast moving passages. When I sing classical arias, I even try to put the spin on even on the shortest pitches, which helps so much with my support and control and resonance. Like trying to get that vibrato going at all times just adds a lot of dimensions.
That's great. Great information. I'll continue to work on that.
Okay, was that helpful today?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. I'll look up some exercises just, for that, what we went over today, on the
And you can watch
site.
this again because we have it on YouTube now and on Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. I greatly appreciate the help. It's going to help me out a lot.
Yeah, thanks for putting yourself out there. And if you all would also like to have an opportunity to be coached, we have an application process because we try to have a good balance, like try to find singers who I feel like resemble the things that a lot of people work on. And my bad, I don't know the link right off. I think it's masteryourvoice.tv/live coaching. I believe that's what it is. And so, yeah, thank you so much, JB. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, everyone, have an amazing day. I hope you are blessed. Remember, there are always a lot of details you could work on. You have to always remember that your voice is unique. While you can, of course, apply all of the technical things that we talk about here, you still have to kind of sift it out and just ask yourself, what does that mean for my voice? You're never going to sound exactly like anyone else, and that's a good thing. There are no two voices that are exactly identical on the planet. Isn't that amazing? So always be okay with your own identity and start loving your voice and ask yourself, what is the natural sound of your voice, the natural tendency? That's what we want to enhance. And we do want to work on all the things that you might not have control over yet, such as maybe better intonation or like this now, like better control over vibrato. These are things you can work on, but always within those, I don't even want to call it confined. You're not confined within the parameters of this is my voice. And your voice is unique and special. Thank you everyone for hanging out. And maybe you want to apply for one of the next coaching sessions. Wishing you all an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.